Okay, as we finish up this week on what is shaping your spiritual life, we're talking about a lot of stuff. Overarching principle: what you focus on fills you, and what fills you forms you. And I love Justin Earley's little book. Hopefully, you're reading that. Just want to remind you, you can jump into all 8 habits, the 4 daily and 4 weekly, or you can just take them one at a time. Next week, I will start with habit number 1, which is all about prayer, and we'll look at that. And then the next week, you can just add them one at a time if you like. But this is a season to recognize that something is shaping your life. How you spend your time shapes your life. Where you focus your thoughts shape your life. And so when I begin to focus my thoughts and my time in the right direction, it will fill me with something new and it will form me. I like the little matrix that Justin uses, and I'm just going to tweak it just a little bit. I'm taking what he did on the horizontal axis, and I'm spinning that to the vertical axis, and vice versa. It makes more sense to me, and I don't think he thought about it in this way. But it's a great little matrix. So it's a circle. That's the shape we're looking at today. It's a circle. And on the top part of the circle is love of God. Love of God. See why I like that? Love of God. On the bottom is love of others. It's more down here where we live. It's horizontal. And I'm bringing God down here to where we live. So love of God and love of others. That's the goal or purpose of spiritual formation. Okay? What I focus on fills me. What fills me forms me. Something's forming you. Something's shaping you. What is it? Well, if it's not shaping you in a direction where you love God more, you miss something that you can't miss. If it's not shaping you in a way that you love others more, you missed it again. You don't want to miss those two things. You want to think about, you could literally ask yourself from day to day, am I loving God and others well today? That will bring you back to the purpose of following Jesus, right? We follow Jesus in order to be like Jesus so we can impact the world. And what impacts the world is love, sweet love. That's what impacts the world. John Lennon, all we need is love. Love is all we need. I mean, we got to remember that love is the big deal. What the world needs now is love. We got to remember that. Remember that. We got to know that, musicians can sing it. Artists can paint it. Poets can rhyme it. But we need to refine it. We need to remember that we've got to refine our ability to love God and love others. Our matrix helps us do that. Our matrix, our rule of life, it helps us to love God and love others. Jesus was asked by one of the teachers of the law, what is the most important commandment in all the law? And Jesus said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these 2 commandments. Right? And then in the message, I gave you multiple other authors of Scripture who agree the same thing. Jesus communicated it, and his followers reaffirmed it. It's what the New Testament pivots around, this love of God and love of others. Dwight Edwards said, 2 chief callings rest upon us. The first is this unrestrained dependence on an unseen God, and this unstoppable love for other people. These 2 things put God most on display to an unbelieving world. I like that. My faith in God, in this unseen God, my love for him, my belief in him, and my unrestrained love for others, this puts God most on display for an unbelieving world. The Bible just reaffirms it over and over. Jesus said in John 13:34, he said, a new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, all men will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. It's just the driving message of all of Scripture. But you and I have got to refine it. We need a matrix. And so as we build our rule of life, all of these little practices and habits that we're going to do, they will enable us to deconstruct what distracts us and reconstruct what will ultimately attract others to Jesus. So that's the vertical. The horizontal is my little definition of a rule of life is the horizontal. This is the purpose of spiritual formation. This is the process of spiritual formation. So we want to be able to recognize that we need to resist the things that pull us out from under his influence. Justin gives us this in his book. Resist the things that pull us out from under his influence and embrace the things that pull us back under his influence. Embrace the kind of habits and practices that bring us under his influence. This week, next week, the next week, for the next 8-9 weeks, we are going to be looking and digging into and refining and building our matrix, our rule of life. And as we do these little practices and they become habit, second nature, I guarantee you, they will refine your ability to love and live like Jesus. I'll see you this weekend.